Well, flu activity has increased nationally and in the state of California, and now locally. Inyo Health Officer Dr. Rick Johnson sent out an updated press release today noting the rapid increase in flu activity. Now, last week, Dr. Johnson noted 15 states were reporting high activity and 25 states widespread activity. California was spared from both categories. However, over the weekend, more information about the local situation shows that Dr. Johnson notes we are most likely on the cusp of a dramatic increase in local flu activity, probably due to travel by locals and visitors. Now, the emergency department at Mammoth Hospital on Sunday reported 3 positive rapid flu tests, which almost doubles the seasonal total in one day. 2 of them were type A. Dr. Johnson notes that is the most serious and most common type circulating throughout the country. Now, a 19-month-old ex-preemie with chronic lung disease was hospitalized with pneumonia and a positive rapid flu test type B. And Dr. Johnson notes this is the first hospitalization in the Eastern Sierra. He also said that he completed surveillance for influenza-like illness in Sierra Park Pediatrics and Family Medicine through last Saturday, and the numbers are now double what they were before the holidays. About 300 visits per week. Now, Dr. Johnson wants to emphasize the importance of doing the right thing for yourself, your family, and for your community. It is not too late to get a flu shot. If you would like to do so, you might want to check with your healthcare provider's office, your pharmacy, or the health department. Now, if you know someone is sick, make the choice not to be around them if possible. Stay home from work or school if you're sick, and if you're a manager or supervisor, create a policy and enforce it, and provide paid sick leave if possible. You're also asked to cover your cough with your elbow or sleeve and wash your hands frequently. Now, Dr. Johnson said the goal is to prevent large-scale illness, especially in our workplaces and schools, hospitalizations, and yes, deaths in our community. Dr. Johnson says officials hope to blunt the impact of influenza in our community so that we can all recover and be healthy and enjoy the outdoors when it finally snows. So we thank Dr. Johnson for that information. Well, Bennett Kessler filed this following report. In the June primary election, Eastern Sierra voters can choose members of the boards of supervisors, Mammoth Town Council members, and other elected officials. Now, before the new year, clerks in both Inyo and Mono counties let citizens know petitions for signatures in lieu of filing fees we're ready to pick up. Now, some officials acted immediately. In Mono County, appointed Sheriff Ralph Obenberger took out papers for his election. 2 people took out petitions to run for assessor in Mono County, current assessor Bob Musel and candidate Barry Beck. The seats of Supervisors Larry Johnston in District 1 and Supervisor Bing Hunt in District 5 are also up for election. These districts are part of Mammoth Lakes. Now, in Inyo County, Assessor Tom Lanshaw says he will not seek another term. He will retire, he said, after some 16 years of service. Bishop City Councilman Dave Stottlemyre has taken out petitions to run for Inyo County Assessor. David Tinksley took out petitions to run for District 1 Supervisor, a district long held by Supervisor Linda Archularius, who had indicated she would not seek another term. Now, Supervisor Rick Pucci has taken out papers to run for re-election in District 3, and Superior Court Judge Brian Lamb took out petitions to seek re-election to his seat. Also, at last word in Inyo County, Auditor Controller Amy Shepard took out papers to run, and so did County Clerk Cammie Foote, District Attorney Tom Hardy, Public Administrator Patricia Barton, Sheriff Bill Lutz, and Treasurer Tax Collector Alicia McMurtry. At last report, they had no challengers. Seats for the areas 1, 2, and 3 on the Inyo County Board of Education are also up for election. Now, declaration of candidacy forms and nomination papers can be filed with county clerks beginning February 10th, going through March 7th. Contact clerks' offices in Bridgeport and Independence. As for the Mammoth Town Council race, the seats of Matthew Lehman, John Eastman, and Rick Wood are up for election in June. According to Town Clerk Jamie Gray, paperwork to run for those seats becomes available at the Town of Mammoth Clerk's office on February 10th. Well, Bennett Kessler also filed this report. In the case of Don D. and Kenneth Rossi, accused of embezzling $1.5 million in welfare funds, motions are pending. A change of venue motion is anticipated to be filed, and a trial date has been requested by the district attorney. Now, a settlement conference on December 19th was mostly uneventful. However, District Attorney Tom Hardy did say that the counsel for the Rossis announced that they will be filing a motion to, quote, suppress certain statements alleged to have been made by Ms. Rossi to investigators, end quote. That motion is set for February 3rd. Gerard Harvey, who represents Kenneth Rossi, and Michael Berger, who represents Don D. Rossi, according to the DA, will renew the motion to return money confiscated from the Rossi's bank account. These lawyers, the DA said, also indicated that they intend to bring a motion to change venue. That motion was set for hearing on March 13th and 14th. Now, a trial date has not yet been set, but the DA has requested a trial date in May. The Rossis face allegations of embezzlement of public funds, identity theft, conspiracy, filing false or no tax returns, and forgery. They remain out of jail on GPS monitoring. Well, Victoria Alexander Lane has accepted the position as Northern Inyo Hospital's new Chief Executive Officer. Mrs. Alexander Lane has over 25 years of experience in healthcare in both urban and rural settings, according to a press release from Northern Inyo Hospital. She began her career as an ER ICU nurse in California and quickly moved up the ranks, serving as Administrator of Patient Care Services, Director of Critical Care Services, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Nursing Officer, and finally as Chief Executive Officer. Mrs. Alexander Lane has served as a CEO at Ojai Valley Community Hospital, Steele Memorial Medical Center, that's in Salmon, Idaho, and most recently at Sebasticook Valley Health System in Maine. Now, the press release states that Mrs. Alexander Lane and her husband are very excited to be moving to a community and hospital that is of their choosing, where they can make a permanent home. Mrs. Alexander Lane spent a summer here in her youth packing mules and deeply appreciates the beauty of the Eastern Sierra. Her husband Ron is a retired geologist who loves restoring antique cars. They enjoy many outdoor activities such as kayaking and bicycling, and the press release states are very comfortable in a rural community. They are currently in Maine and plan on finalizing their move to Bishop in March. And Northern Inyo Hospital also welcomes the first baby of 2014. This is Zachary Michael Johnston. He was born January 1st at 12:51 p.m. Zachary Michael weighed in at 6 pounds 15 ounces and is the pride and joy of his new family. Seen here with mom Melissa Johnston and big brother Jeffrey Barnes. Congratulations all the way around. Nice baby there. We'll be back with more news.